What is it like to see? This will be a video response to the artist formerly known as Moonlit Opal, now known as Awaken the Flames. She made a video that was discussing actually a lot of different topics about being able to see. And I say that like this because everyone sees in a very different way. And I think that we sometimes forget that. You'll have to excuse my voice also. It rained for about 18 days in a row here, and my sinuses are absolutely crazy right now. Um, but people, I feel like, and I'm guilty of this too, I feel like we forget that seeing isn't just seeing like I'm seeing this glass in front of me. Um, there's many different ways to see, and not only that, but things show themselves to us in different ways because we all have different correspondences that mean different things to us, right? So, for instance, we're going to talk about Teresa Caputo for a second, the New Jersey medium, Long Island medium, whatever. You get what I mean? Long Island medium, that's what it is. Anyway, so regardless of how you feel about her, this is just an example. When she talks about getting visions, for her, they aren't moving, animated beings in front of her. She doesn't see that. She gets like flashes. Um, Almost in movies how you see like the flashback and it's either a little tiny clip repeating itself or it's like a close up of like a book or something like that. You know, it's symbols. And everything has an energy to it, a feeling to it, and a lot of times seeing can merely be getting these flashes of things. And that is sight. Um, you don't have to physically see it with your eyes to see it. You know, if you have you ever thought about a friend and tried to figure out what their energy color is and just instantly a color comes to you? Maybe a couple colors. Maybe it's a jumble. When you close your eyes, you can just imagine that tapestry of it, and it almost looks like a tie-dye. You're seeing their aura. You're seeing, if not their aura, their energetic field, whatever you want to call it, but you're seeing a color that has to do with their energy. You are seeing, feeling, and that's another thing, is you can feel see and feel hear and feel, and there's a lot of things that, because we can't factually put our finger on it, because it is intangible in a sense, we have a hard time giving it credit and validating it. And that's something that Michelle was actually talking about in her video, is she had seen some beings in the background of one of my videos and mentioned it to me, and albeit they were some oddly described beings, but they're beings that I'm familiar with. And, you know, her saying something to me confirmed hers, and I think that's really the key part to seeing or encouraging whatever gift you have, whether it's clairaudience or sentience or whatever. It's speaking on it. It is acting on it. It's taking that literal leap of faith and most of the time being rewarded, because what you felt was really what you felt. What you saw was really what you saw. What you heard was really what you heard. So, what is it like to see? I am, and I don't think I've said this on this channel ever, but I am a medium. More so in the sense of Teresa kind of way. I mean, I'm not going to see, well, I won't say I'm not because I have, but generally when spirits come to me, generally someone's ancestors, and it's usually while I'm talking to them, randomly happens, and I will get flashes of things. Sometimes it's an animal they were really big on, like a spirit animal in a sense. Um, and then like the energy of an older male with that. Sometimes it is a group of them that come up and I see colors, or maybe I zero in on a necklace that means something, or an alarm clock that's really old happened once. Um, and it's like I see almost like flashcards of things, and then they zero in on that flashcard so I can see a piece of it to detail or to describe in detail. So for me, and when they speak, I feel it. I don't hear it, but I hear it. I hear it with the heart. So, and that sounds so cheesy to say, but for those of you who do this, you will understand. And for those of you who feel this and are not acting on it because you're afraid that you might be wrong, or someone will be like, well, you're just trying to be bigger than you are, you're trying to be special. Think about it this way. I would rather be wrong a couple times because I acted on it than not give a message that was given to me to be given to them. Because I don't know what power that message has. I'm just the person carrying the note. I have no idea what they need to hear. But apparently they think so. So I feel like, let me backtrack. What I started doing a long time ago when I was having a struggle with speaking out about it, I started acknowledging it when it would pop in, first of all. Because, like Michelle said, you can imagine a puppy with a ball over there, and you can see a puppy with a ball in your head. But there's a difference between talking to someone and suddenly there's a puppy and a ball over there. And it just happens, you know? And so when you receive these things, the key is to acknowledge them. Don't brush them away like, wow, why did I think about a puppy and a ball? That was weird. Whatever. Anyway, so what I was doing, you know, you're rejecting that. You're questioning it. And questioning is fine, but even to question, you still have to acknowledge. And sweeping it back is really kind of rude, in my opinion, because if they're taking the time to do this, especially if it's deity or something like that, you're basically rejecting them. So I have my guides that guard me and stuff in terms of things that should not be passed on. But overall, who am I to say that, no, this person doesn't need to hear that? You know what I mean? So I can't force it. I can't turn it on and off and whatever. It just happens. Um, but I will say that when you get something like that, if you acknowledge it and show gratitude for it, thank you for choosing me for that image. Thank you for spreading that message. I will relay it when I get the chance to. When the opportunity is provided, I will provide that. And you'll know when the time is right to say it. Because usually it comes up in conversation. Something triggers that person says, and then it's like divine timing, and you're like, oh yeah, by the way, you like birds, huh? Cool. Well, your grandpa's an eagle and he's here. So, um, sorry, that's my phone. Anyway, so what is it like to see? It's a leap of faith. It is a leap of faith. It's unnerving a lot of times. Um, it's like trying to walk without ground in that sense to a mind that was brought up to be very analytical. We're very based on facts. We're very based on what we can feel. And if we can't put our hand on it, then we think that it's not real. We think that it's not valid. But feelings are valid. Energy is valid. What we work with is valid. So why wouldn't that be? So the more you work with it, the more you encourage it, the more you are thankful for what little that you are shown, even if it's one message, it's something. And, you know, I'm usually very thankful that I could hopefully help in whatever way. And that's really all you need to assist you in that. Um, Obviously, question, Michelle had a very good point. Keeping skeptical friends around is nice because they do keep you in check. But at the same time, don't be so hard on yourself that you lock all of that away. I mean, I am of the opinion that information was made to be shared, and especially messages of that sort. If you have someone come to you that has to do with the person that you were talking to, and you know that, and they're like, hey, I'm here, tell them. Why wouldn't you tell them? You know? As long as it's a good message, why wouldn't you tell them? And, if they have shitty energy, then why are you even allowing them to talk to you in the first place, right? So, that's my thing. What's it like to see? It's a leap of faith. It is jumping off the cliff and thanking them for being able to jump. It doesn't really make sense, but yet it does. So, um, I don't know. Uh, that's what it's like to see and feel and tap into other people and into their ancestors and that kind of thing, their animals. It's interesting. But I will remind you that not everybody sees the same way. Some people can literally talk to them like it's my roommate standing next to me. And they see them like you would see this glass. Maybe a little more see-through. Although that is water, so I guess that's pretty see-through. Um, but everybody has their own way. And maybe your gift isn't sight. Maybe it's clairaudience. Maybe it's clairsentience. It's a knowing, a feeling. You just know shit. Some people have groups of them. Some people don't have, you know, anything that really has to do with that. Their purpose is altogether different and just as important. Um, so don't be too hard on yourself. Don't be too impatient if you're trying to see. Um, just the best advice I can give is when things pop up, be thankful and acknowledge it, and then act on it. I had an elder once tell me that you can talk to 100 people, but if you reach one person, then it was worth it. I have to remind myself of that with this kind of thing. Even if it doesn't make sense to them immediately, maybe it will down the road. Maybe it never will. I don't know, but it's not my place to be like, no, 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 I'm not going to tell them, I'll get embarrassed. Or maybe they'll think I'm being a hotshot. It's my place to just relay the message because apparently I had to do it for a reason, right? There's no coincidences. That's my belief anyway. So, what is it like to see? It's pretty much like that. Anybody else who wants to do a VR to her, you guys should, because this is a really good topic. And I think that the more people talk about it, the more people will realize that what they're doing is already a thing. It's, you just didn't have a word for it. We do a lot of things that we just don't have labels for, and then we realize the label, and all of a sudden it's a reality. No, it was a reality before that. You were already doing these things. So I think this is good. This is healthy. This gets people talking about the things that they may not even realize they're doing yet. So kudos on the awesome topic, Michelle. I'll see you guys later.